Mohammedullah show us the graves of his family's martyrs in this cemetery here. It's not only the graves of Mohammedullah's martyred family members, but this sacred cemetery is the eternal resting place of many who were martyred at the hands of the occupiers.
This is the grave of the martyr Zar Muhammad, where explosive materials were placed on his hand. This is the grave of the martyr Nemad, who was martyred in the raid. This is my father's grave, and this is my other brother's grave. This is my uncle's grave. The rest of the entire graveyard belongs to our village. They were all martyred by the Americans. They were all civilians.
This house was also part of the sacrifice of that night's raid. Although Mr. Jalad and Muhammad had left the village in fear of the raid, their nephew remained behind as a host to a guest and stayed in the house with him. The story goes like this.
The incident happened on a Friday night in the year 2019. They conducted the raid here. One of the guests was with us. One was my nephew, named Sulla. The Americans took him. They placed explosive materials on his hand and detonated it. The guest had also arrived, and he had brought a horse with him. He was also here. He was our son-in-law. And they also martyred our nephew. Here, they gathered all the women from the 3 houses, and they collected all the children, both small and big. They placed a bomb in the middle of this area, and they surrounded them all. It was a strange thing. It had green lines on it, and they first gave it to them. Then they took everything from them, and after that, they brought a bomb and placed it in the middle. The Americans placed the bomb in the middle and gathered the children around it. Then, during the raid, they caused chaos. I swear to God, from that time until now, whenever I think of my children, my heart aches, knowing that all of them have been martyred.
Zalmai, an elderly man, is a member of another family. On the night of that raid, a drone strike by the occupiers targeted his house, and one of his brothers was martyred in the attack. The marks of the dropped bomb's explosion are still visible on the blanket of the house, and Zalmai has kept them as a symbol of that injury and in memory of his martyred brother.
My brothers and I were sitting together here. At that moment, a plane flew by, making 4 or 5 passes. When it reached that place, it released its shells, and it came down here and landed. We were trying to dry our clothes, but everything became a mess. Then, the news spread that all the people had come. Look, these shells came out of it. All of them came out, and it was a bloody mess. Even now, there are still traces of shell fragments here. Everyone was gone. 5 survived, and 1 became a martyr, my brother Farouk. Now, this is the moment when we walk in the space of happiness. The dark shadow that was over us, that dark night, has now turned into light.
The cruelty and brutality of the foreign occupiers' helplessness forced the residents of every affected area to take up arms in defense of themselves and others. This was the only remaining choice to rescue themselves, their families, and the homeless families from the clutches of the invaders. Defending their religion, country, and people is embedded in the bloodline of the Afghans, and there is a chapter in the history of the world's great powers where the deeds of the Afghans are preserved. During the 20 years of occupation, this very spirit prevailed among the Afghans, and with the limited resources they had, they stood firm against the oppression of the invaders.